So even if you believe that altcoins are going to perform well, it doesn't make sense to trade them on this short-term basis based on your election prediction, because if you get it wrong, you're going to get smoked getting out of your trade. Whereas you get it wrong at Bitcoin, maybe you lose a few percentage points. So what, right? You live to fight another day.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Arthur Hayes discusses how the upcoming U.S. presidential elections could impact the crypto markets, from Bitcoin's performance to altcoin rotation, and why he thinks SLO is the high bet of Bitcoin for election trades.
The short term, obviously, the market really likes Trump because the things that Trump is saying and how he's going to print money and hand it out is what, politicians in the United States have been saying since Reagan in the 80s, which is cut taxes, decrease regulation on businesses, and keep spending the same, if not increasing spending. So the rich people get tax breaks and there's equities pump and everyone else gets their healthcare paid for, essentially, right? And the U.S. can continue bombing everybody because the defense budget isn't going down. That's what Trump is saying. And the markets like it. Harris is basically saying the same thing, but in a more convoluted way and probably more annoying given just the way she sounds. But it's essentially the same message delivered in her packaging for her particular audience. But the market likes what Trump is saying because it understands that. I think the real risk here is, regardless of who wins, if the other side says, I don't believe that this election was done in a proper manner, I believe there were inconsistencies, I'm not accepting that my candidate lost, let's take to the streets, let's take to the courts, and let's create a situation of confusion as to who will be the next leader of the American empire. And so I think that is the real risk for markets. Obviously, people right now are saying, oh yeah, Trump is, odds-on favorite by a very, very, very small margin to win the election. I still think it's pretty much a coin toss, but the market seems to think Trump's going to win based on some of the markets like Polymarket and Drift has a market as well. So that's where I think the market is right now. I'm not really adding too much more risk on right now. I'm already long a lot of crypto. I'm long some energy stocks. I'm happy in my positions. Do I feel that it's prudent to add more risk here, given that I think there's a very real chance that we don't know who the next U.S. president is for, weeks, might even be past January 20th when they're supposedly supposed to be sworn in.
MicroStrategy, the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin, moved a significant 1,652 BTC to a new wallet, sparking interest among market participants and traders. According to data from Locon Chain shared on X, MicroStrategy executed the transfer of 1,652 BTC around 10 p.m. on Friday. The company possesses a substantial 252,220 BTC, valued at nearly $17.56 billion, with an average buying price of $39,266 and an unrealized profit of $7.65 billion. This unexpected transfer from MicroStrategy followed the company's announcement of its 21-21 plan, outlining a strategic goal of raising $42 billion of capital over the next 3 years, consisting of $21 billion of equity and $21 billion of fixed income securities. The company plans to continue allocating resources to purchase Bitcoin to generate significant Bitcoin yield. In its Q3 earnings report, MicroStrategy disclosed a substantial $2.1 billion raise in equity and debt, increasing its Bitcoin holdings by 11% in the quarter and boosting its year-to-date BTC yield to 17.8%. During the same period, the company also achieved a $24 million reduction in total annualized interest expense. Bitcoin fell below the $69,000 price level at the start of November, concluding October. Traders secured profits as the market declined, and millions were liquidated. The leading digital asset is currently trading at $69,567.71, a critical support level, and appears poised to retest the resistance above $70,000. Data indicates Bitcoin gained 3.86% over the past week and a considerable 13.71% in the last 30 days. Moreover, the market leader is up 96.77% since November 2023 and is trading at a 5.8% discount from its all-time high of $73,750.
I still think the market's sell off. I still think right now the markets are priced for a Trump victory, Republicans taking the House and the Senate, and him raining down money on all the rich people, right? So I think that's what the markets are priced for. They're not really priced for, even if he does win all those things, if the Democrats and the people come out in the streets and they file challenges and Harris does not concede, right? So it's funny. So at Maelstrom, I like to train the youngins in risk management and making decisions under uncertainty using, implied probabilities. So we have a few different election games that we're playing internally, and I give, $5,000 to $10,000 per game for the winners. But if you lose, then you have to pay into the communal pot, and we buy drinks for everybody when we're next out at a conference or something. So there's a cost to betting and not getting it right. How I am deciding when a bet is paid out is based on when the loser concedes that they lost the game. That's when we know it's over. When Harris gets on TV or Trump gets on TV and says, hey, I lost, the other person wins, that's when the election concludes. And so it doesn't matter who's in the streets or all the electoral challenges in the courts. If the actual candidate who lost says I lost, then we know it's over. So who knows when that's going to happen?
Well, what about this scenario where, even to this day, Trump won't say that he lost?
I'm pretty sure that he conceded the election in 2020. He might have, after the fact, said, oh, there were all these things that happened and maybe, there were fake voters, or he insinuated that some of the things that his supporters were saying that entered the election wasn't done properly, but he conceded the election. If you're going to be betting on this in a fashion that you get the most liquidity, right? Because if you're wrong, you want to get out of your position immediately, and you don't want to, suffer massive, liquidity comes out, bid-ask spread goes wide. You try to, big crowd trying to get out a small door, right? So that's why if you're going to bet, you want to use Bitcoin, one of the majors, Bitcoin, ETH, maybe with a Sol. Those are the things that I would be speculating using. The altcoins will do well. So if Bitcoin goes to, 85,000 next week because Trump wins and everyone's like, yeah, Trump. And then you see, oh shit, I'm rich now, or I'm richer. Therefore, now I need to own goat and, smoking chicken fish and a bunch of other dog shit around the world. I obviously own those two. That's why I mentioned them. Always be closing. And so, yeah, I think the altcoins and the meme coins and the dog shit, it follows Bitcoin. But if you're going to speculate in the election, you want to stay in the majors because, it's very likely you get it wrong. Either you get it wrong on the probability of the winning of what's going to happen and how the market responds, or you just outright pick the wrong person. You want to be able to get out of your position as quickly as possible with the least amount of slippage, which is why why traders will concentrate themselves in the majors.
Cryptocurrency is an emerging asset class that's been rising in popularity during the past several years. I see a couple of valid reasons to consider investing in crypto. First, I think some investors are intrigued by the idea of digital currencies replacing fiat money in the future. Hence, buying crypto becomes an appealing decision. Second, I think crypto represents an alternative investment akin to art or collectibles. Allocating a small percentage of your portfolio to assets besides stocks, bonds, and cash can make sense for the right investor. But choosing which cryptocurrency to buy can be like throwing a dart at a wall. While Bitcoin and Ethereum are two of the most mainstream options, could Dogecoin or Shiba Inu actually create some real-world utility down the road? Rather than trying to predict which digital currencies will be the most valuable, I'd encourage investors to think about ways to gain exposure to cryptocurrency without actually buying specific tokens or coins. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.